Good morning. We are beginning the Be the Light meditation here in Nevada City. I am Jan Jorgensen, and today's theme is something close to all of our hearts because it in fact dents our heart a little bit. Gives us an opportunity to do an in-breath and to feel a very common human emotion that we prefer not to feel, and it is disappointment. And it's disappointment in ourselves. We have many goals and many ideas of how perfect we should be, what we should be able to accomplish. And sometimes we have to reconcile a very interesting fact that two things exist simultaneously. My mom always said, Jan, you can do whatever you want to do. And I've always held that. And I've always felt that there's sort of magic in that and an ability to spin and weave this density of reality into a way that brings forth and forms something that is enriching to my life or other people's lives. But sometimes we have an experience that who we are in that moment and how our brain works and our past experiences, that we take ourselves to the edge of an activity, a process, or a project. And we actually feel that we don't have the chops, the tools, the stamina, the brain power, the organizational skills. And we know that feels disappointing, like a limitation, like we have let ourselves down. And in those times, it is so important to remember that this is part of the human condition, and that we have these choices to excel and expand and to experience something that didn't go as we had planned. And sometimes things not going as we planned has the deepest soul meaning and purpose of all. Because then you look at other people who are doing what you wish to do, and you learn from their vibration, their skill set, and their belief system. Not any one of us has the ability to do everything perfectly. It is part of the divine plan that we need each other. We need all the ingredients of the cake. And so it's not a matter of being jealous or competing. But for myself, it's a matter of, can I master all of this and then push the envelope a little bit more and have more fun and more excitement and more expansion without hurting anybody else or without breaking the budget or being exotic. So when we hit disappointment within ourselves, it's different than being disappointed in other people or in our relationships. It actually gives us a deep pause. Sometimes we might want to withdraw. We might feel embarrassed. There are many, many ways that we can work with this so it becomes a win-win. I already touched upon one of the ways is that it helps you have more a sense of humanity and compassion for all those that are struggling all the time, and in their mind or in our social structure, they're not making the grade. Think how that feels day in and day out. Or think of the mother who works so hard to teach her child wonderful social principles, and that child ends up being off the edge and doing things that hurt other people. Big disappointments. That mother feels like she made the mistake in her mothering, that she somehow came up short in one of the most important things. Or we have the Wall Street executive who misjudges something and has to eat it when a lot of people lose their money. Or he heard a tip and it turns out that that was on the south side of the law. So as we go through our lives, we are going to hit these walls of truth. Things did not go as we wish they had gone. And it dents our sense of efficacy, that I can do this, that I have what it takes. That we must isolate the specific incidents and not feel that we are a general failure. But what in this one area allows me to acknowledge that I have hit the wall in this specific quagmire area, and notice how when you have hit walls before, what happens? You come back with a greater recipe and milieu later, maybe not doing the same thing, but you know that area and you know how it touched your heart with new appreciation for doing it well. The other thing, besides really learning from it and having honoring compassion for others, is we might want to isolate. Now, a little bit of downtime is okay, but you know, there's some people who feel like, boy, I failed. I feel so ashamed of myself. And this goes back to how they were treated as children, perfect or just pond scum. I mean, you just feel like the lowest form of earth around so many people you've seen in your lives who that's their modus operandi, is to keep other people down and feeling less than and not good enough. And they learned that from their parents. Their parents held that. Someone's got to be the bottom of the food chain, so you become the pond scum. Unfortunately, many people who are narcissistic and have to have things their way and are not really caring and calm and kind to other people have been told they were pond scum as children, and it's their only way to survive and have any sense of self-esteem, to have power over, to dominate others. All of these things can be healed. Some of them are very deep in us personally, some are deep in family systems, and you see an operation in social systems nationally and globally. Power over. As we understand the truth, about the truth, about how things really work, vibration, thoughts, intention, and our will, and holding our own light in our own sense of experience without judgment, we can all move forward as a people in more benevolent, kind, productive ways. So in this meditation, where we use the Be the Light process, we are going to go through a release of the shame and the stigma and the severe pain when we feel that we have hit our wall, we have disappointed ourselves, so that we don't isolate, we don't go into depression, and we don't crumble. Go ahead and sit up nice and straight, and we begin with a deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth. One more thing I'd like to say before we drop in. We must hit these walls because it helps us go sideways and not keep forcing things, but to soften and learn new things. And when you look back in your life, you will see that some of the best things that happened were the walls. But we don't need to feel so bad about it, and that's what we're working on. Let's take another deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place a hold-on of balance over our entire body. Only energies of the highest light may be in this space now. We remove everybody else's thoughts. we remove our own dense negative thoughts about ourselves. Just let all of that begin to move like little clouds, little bee swarms of energy. Let it all move out of your body until you are empty, until your mind is still and you are calm and empty. You are in the beginner's mind, where anything can be attempted without a picture of the outcome. It is human nature to plan pictures and become attached. We ask that all of this be released, and no matter the outcome, we have humor and joy in the process and in the path. We will support others as they hit their walls. We will support ourselves as we hit our walls and communicate and share our feelings and disappointments with others, so we feel connected and supported on our own path. We ask and intend that all the feelings of shame, embarrassment, of contraction, feeling less than, and those big balls of why even try occasionally that weigh us down, we ask that all of that comes up to be present now in our body, in our emotional field, and in our mind, to be healed completely. Take a breath through your nose and out through your mouth. Excellent. We ask that the divine unseen beings surround us, the angelic realm, Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene, Jesus Christ, whoever you see as the face of the Creator, the helpers, the in-betweens. Call them to be with you now. We simply now ask that the Creator make a beautiful ball of light that holds frequencies that are exact melting point for all this stuff that's coming up, so that when that energy comes down through our body, it actually discreates the old feelings and synapses and reactions and triggers and stopping breathing and all of it. So we ask this beautiful ball of light hover over the top of our head now. Feel the life-giving forces. Feel that it's not foreign, that it's actually part of you. Just other little parts of yourself you've been waiting for to feel more whole, more resilient, and more joyful. So let this energy now melt into the top of your head, down into your brain, into your nervous system, your neck, your shoulders, your upper chest, and breathe it in and let it have a restorative effect, a calming, healing, aligning nature to this activity. That's it. Let it go through your whole body. Oh, just take a breath and let it integrate in and let it come out the bottom of your feet, down into the earth, and back up through your feet, and up through your body, in your organs. It's like changing the oil in your car. We're giving more lubrication so that your ideas and your emotions and painful triggers don't get stuck anywhere. The things are flowing and moving and lubricated, picking up speed. All is working in synchronicity in your physical body. We ask and intend to remove the old instances of emotional pain related to hitting walls and feeling embarrassed that we have failed. We release that energy from our heart, our lungs, our shoulders, our eyes, all parts of ourselves, so that we are free to just be a person who experiences, absent of positive and negative labels. Let this energy flow through you with each breath and up at the top of your head, sending this new compositive energy back up to Creator Source and plugging it in. Excellent. Wonderful. It's almost as if there is a shower and a protection from those old quagmires and behaviors related to hitting walls and feeling inwardly disappointment with ourselves, where we truly are exquisitely, infinitely versatile, resilient, flexible, and only in our own story and eyes can we ever fail. In the Creator's eyes, we're delightful, childlike, ever-expanding creatures who we don't know it all yet. We have a lot to learn. That's the joy of life. Pick something you want to do and move towards it and feel all the parts of yourself and all the reactions and embrace them, enjoy them, and laugh. And laugh with your fellow man. And they do the same thing. So we're all in this together, and I thank you for joining me today. Speaking of being together, I am Jan Jorgensen at soundandlighthealingarts.com. This was the Be the Light meditations on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Thank you.